that's where the stolen cars are going. High-powered scanners can look into those containers to intercept drugs, guns, and stolen cars. We will pay for it by canceling the gun grab. The government spent $40 million in 4 years claiming that it's going to confiscate firearms from licensed owners. They haven't been able to get a single gun on the street with this program. And now, even the avid supporters of banning guns admit that this gun purchase the government's going to do will just give money to gun owners to buy their existing guns so they can go and buy other guns that are of a similar make and model and do exactly the same thing. What a colossal waste of money. Let's go after, let's cancel that instead. They go after the criminals, gun smugglers. Let's bring home our freedom by repealing censorship laws, rebuilding our military, securing our borders, and upholding common sense immigration once again. Common sense is the key word. The common sense plan to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. That's how we'll restore Canada's promise, where anyone from anywhere can do anything, where hard work earns a powerful paycheck, buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. Let's bring it home.
Thank you so much. We'll now move to questions. My first question coming from 4 Ukrainian TV, please.
Funded by Canada. So Toronto International Film Festival, one of the largest and most prestigious film festivals, included to its program film called Russians at War, filmed by Russian-born and Canadian filmmaker Anastasia Trofimova. So in her film, Russian soldiers who entered Ukraine, occupy their territories, and killed Ukrainians appear just ordinary people who were unaware of the real reasons of the war. So the film was funded by the Canadian government and received $340,000 Canadian dollars. Just a quick remark, Canada has a population of 1.3 Ukrainians for taxpayers to this country. So that means that Canada gave the money to Ukrainian taxpayers to fund a film with Russian propaganda. Isn't it sound just shocking? Because for us as Ukrainians, as Ukrainian community, we're absolutely shocked.
This is an appalling waste of money and an insult to the millions of innocent Ukrainians who suffer as a result of unprovoked Russian aggression by Vladimir Putin. Justin Trudeau should personally apologize to Ukraine and to Ukrainian Canadians for having funded this Russian propaganda. He should apologize to Ukraine for funding Putin's military by blocking the export of Canadian natural gas. Germany, Japan, Greece all want to get off Russian gas, but Trudeau won't sell them our gas. So we could defund Putin by exporting our gas, but due to a radical environmental agenda, Trudeau will not export our gas to defund Putin. And common sense conservatives are going to continue to fight back against Russian propaganda. We demand accountability. Expenditure bill. I will rapidly approve LNG liquefaction and export projects so that we can defund Putin and turn dollars for dictators into paychecks for our people. And we will continue to support Ukrainians in their Western freedoms. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Toronto 360.
How early you were expecting not finalizing the candidate party numbers? How early you come out and party?
Well, I would like to see it happen in November. But the calendar, I don't set the parliamentary calendar. So the Prime Minister puts forward the calendar on which we are able to introduce it on Congress. So we're calling them to motion as soon as possible so that I can trigger Parliament at Canadians can't afford another year of this. It has been an absolute nightmare. We're being slaughtered in the streets by crime. Our young people are stuck in their parents' basements because they can't afford homes. Food prices are rising so fast that Ontarians are going to food banks. This cannot go on. We need a carbon tax election now to elect a new common sense conservative government that will bring home the country that we knew and still love. Thank you.
What about the candidates?
We're working on it now. We have a lot of our candidates are nominated, including here in Brampton. We have Bob Assange, for example, has been nominated, and there will be other great common sense conservative candidates that come from small business, from the shop floor or factories, from other walks of life that will stand up on behalf of the people and bring home common sense.
Thank you so much. The next question is from PTC Punjabi.
Yes.
So my
Thank you.
question is regarding the recent letter that you received from British Columbia's Temple Vatican Society that says they want you to send Hindu leaders rather than the Sikh leaders, which is disrespect for a lot of Sikh community. What's your take on this?
Well, I think it is disrespectful. I'm very proud of my members of parliament. I'm very proud of Tim Singh Uppal and Jasraj Halan. And I believe that they have the right to go everywhere in Canada. They've been with me to churches, to synagogues, to mosques, to gurdwaras, and also to mandars. The great thing about Canada is that everyone is welcome everywhere. I'm also proud we have MPs with a Hindu background. Both Arpan Khanna and Shuv Majumdar happen to be Hindu. They are welcome everywhere. They should be allowed to go into not just mandars, but also gurdwaras. And I'm not going to tell my MPs they can't go certain places because of their own personal religious convictions. We live in a free country. I want this to be a country where it doesn't matter if your name is Chang or Charles, Martin or Mohammed, Singh or Smith, Poilievre or Patel. As long as you're prepared to work hard, follow the law, raise your family, you should be able to live a great life in Canada. And this needs to be a country where anyone from anywhere can do anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question is from Awaz Entertainment.
Good morning,
Yeah.
Mr. Modi. I like to first of all thank you very much for inviting us to your house months ago.
Yes, thank you.
And again, we're beginning to see a lot very frequently, and that makes us feel like we are already meeting the Prime Minister.
Thank you.
And my question is, over the last 10 years, you have very rightly said that the bureaucratic issues, building and construction, over the 10 years, 1,000% increase in the development charge.
Yeah.
That we end up paying as a consumer. That only goes to the bureaucratic system.
Exactly.
So that's how we look at it. That's how we
Yes.
So this has to be stopped, or else this housing crisis is never going to go away. So I would like to see how do you, we as the Prime Minister of Canada, like to address that. And secondly, the issue with overpopulation of immigrant has caused local people job, or children out of a job. They're very here to cover their business. And through the government brought in so many people without having any vision of it, how to accommodate them, how to take care of them, and artificially increasing the GDP, which is not 3%. It is actually negative. We know
Yes.
that. But that we would like. Once again, we would like to discuss.
Yes.
So how would you address that?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Well, why do we have a housing crisis? We're adding money and people 3 times faster than we're adding houses.
Very simple. And why is that? Well, there's two causes. One is we built fewer homes last year than we built in 1972. In 1972, our population was 22 million people. Last year, our population was 41 million. We built fewer homes. It's just like, it blows my mind that we can't build more homes in this country. You mentioned development charges. They're up 1,000% in the GTA. So how is it that GTA municipalities were able to build parks and roads and water systems when development charges were 90% lower a decade ago? How did they manage to do all that? We had pipes, we had roads, we had parks, but the development charges were 90% less. Well, the answer is that these increases are not paying for services for people. They're paying for monstrous bureaucracies, morbidly obese municipal bureaucracies that have an insatiable appetite for other people's money. And that's why it's not economical to build in Canada. You come in and you pay $100,000 in fees just to put the shovel in the ground. People are going to stop building. That's why we have fewer homes. What am I going to do about it? I'm going to cut off cities like Toronto, City Hall, from getting federal funds if they increase development charges. They will have a penalty that they will suffer as a result of raising those home building taxes in the middle of a housing crisis. And my message to Olivia Chow and to the Mayor of Vancouver is, you won't get federal funding if you're going to raise home building taxes. Cut your bureaucracy so that we can build homes again. And this can't go on. Like, we have tent encampments. People are living, it looks like a third world country when we drive around some of our communities now. And these greedy government bureaucrats and politicians are sucking up all the money and driving up the cost of housing. I will not put up with it. And there will be serious penalties and consequences for all those municipal governments that refuse to get their development charges down. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question will be from Love Bay Afrobeats Radio.
Good morning.
Yes, hi there. Good to see you again.
My question to you is, within my community, the Black community, the consensus is really that the concert the government will not reach out. On the Hill government, what would have changed the plan?
We share the values of Black Canadians, of family, faith, and freedom, of hard work and patriotism. And we will continue to reach out to the community to share our message of axing the tax, building the homes, fixing the budget, and stopping the crime. And I would encourage the community to tell us where and when you need us. I will be there personally to show up for the events, the meetings, and the engagements that matter most to you. And so I'm happy to chat with you after this press conference today, and you can give me a list of marching orders for things I can do to reach out better to the community. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is for Oxygen TV.
Thank you very much. Because that's the need for the whole to bring to this country.
Thank you.
And we hope and having elections soon. Actually, as an immigrant, I'm very proud of Canada that bring the deal. But what happens from the current Canadian government that uses its system to let criminals and terrorists come here to Canada. And actually, I have the evidence that some of the officials use this system to bring illegal people here. And I do think it is shared with many, at least attending this press conference. And I think also my colleague here has some evidence of that. So if we bring this evidence to you and you convince that it is true evidence, would you bring this to the government when it is on? Because we are really feel not secure because of the current immigration systems.
Yeah, we've learned in the last 2 months that at least 2 alleged active ISIS members were given entry to Canada, where they plotted to carry out mass terrorist attacks against our people and against Jews in New York City. One of these individuals is alleged to have cut up a human body on a crucifix in Syria before, and this was videotaped, before he gained entry to our country. So somehow this video is circulating online and our immigration officials are not able to see it and denied the person entry. And were it not for a tip from the French government, we might not have been able to stop his planned attack in Toronto. Loved ones of people in this room, or maybe people in this room, might have been the victim of that terrorist attack had it gone ahead. And it wasn't because we found out about it that it was stopped. It was because the French, using their intelligence, learned of it and gave us a tip. So now we can't even protect our own country. We have to rely on foreign countries to give us information about what's happening on our soil. That is how insane this is. We need to screen newcomers to make sure that they are, as they have always been in Canada, law-abiding, safe, and respecting the rule of law. And we need to restore the controls in the immigration system to end the fraud and the rampant abuse that Justin Trudeau has unleashed. Before Trudeau, we had the best immigration system in the world. Countries all around the world said we need to do what Canada does. They bring in the best people, they get jobs, they're integrated, they get great education, they pay taxes, they build the country. People like my wife. And we were bringing people in at a very high rate, but at a rate that we could absorb into our housing market, our job market, and our healthcare system. But over particularly the last 3 years, it has been absolute chaos and mayhem. And we need to restore common sense, control, and compassion to our immigration system to bring home the best system in the world. And that's what I will do. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Hotspot News.
Yes, thank you.
If you are the Prime Minister, how you want to deal with the Chinese Communist Party and deal with Taiwan, Hong Kong?
First of all, I love the Chinese people here and in China. They're hardworking, they're family friendly, they believe in faith, family, and freedom. They're fiercely patriotic, they demand excellence from their children in school, and they have been an incredible contribution to Canada. China is one of the greatest civilizations in the history of the world. So we don't take issue with the Chinese people or even the country of China. Our objection is with the communist government's abuse of human rights, its attempts to take aggression against Taiwan, the Philippines, Hong Kong, and its interference in our democracy. So I disagree with Justin Trudeau when he says he admires the basic Chinese communist dictatorship. I do not. Communism is evil and it is expansionary. We must resist communism everywhere. My message to Beijing is don't interfere in our politics. Focus on your own people and your own country, and let's have a peaceful future for all of our peoples. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is for Prime Asia TV.
Thank you. Good morning, Pierre. Very positive statement, words in your initial statement that USA economy versus Canadian economy.
Yes.
And you said that Canada can be richer than America. Many times we also think that, but our politicians most of the time they failed us. They failed us because we never talked about economy comparing 100 kilometers away, the US is there, their economy is quite higher. The burger cost is not $8 or $9 in the US. The housing cost you already mentioned. But my question is more than that in terms of the crime. When we talk about the crime and making amendments in the criminal code, we feel, being a media, we feel that we are a roller coaster, the Canadians are roller coaster. We put a question to the Justice Minister, to the President of the Treasury Board, the federal government, like why you are not making changes in the criminal code when crime is so high. And their answer is, like, the changes or amendments are already being made, the laws are in place, it's up to the provincial government how they act and have the judges. When we reach out to the provincial government, they say federal governments need to step up. These changes are not good enough. Same is the version from the police chief, same is the version of the Peel Region Chair, Mr. Nando. So can you clarify why these kind of passing the bugs, and what plan do you have to make amendments in the criminal code so that Canadians, they can have a direct answer? Who is responsible to bring amendments? Are the politicians playing with the emotions of Canadians? Because the family who is suffering with these kind of crimes, if we go to their houses, their emotions, we cannot see that because they are the sufferers and politicians are playing with emotions. Thank you.
We didn't have any of these problems before Trudeau and the NDP Liberals. We did not have catch and release bail. So I don't know how Trudeau can say it's the provinces. The criminal code is federal. He passed catch and release in C-75, which requires the automatic release of offenders on arrest on bail. This means that people who've committed 70 or 80 offenses can be released on bail within minutes of their latest arrest to reoffend, sometimes to be arrested 3 or 4 times in one day. In Vancouver, they had the same 40 offenders were arrested 6,000 times. In Penticton, there's one guy who does so much crime that when he's released from prison, the crime rate for the entire city goes up. One guy. You know, it seems pretty obvious what the solution is here. Let's pass a law saying that rampant career criminals are ineligible for bail, parole, probation, or house arrest. You get arrested and you are a rampant criminal, you have a long rap sheet, you stay behind bars. There's no early release. You stay behind bars through your trial and to the end of your sentence. Bail was meant for people who've never committed a crime before and are newly accused and they've never been convicted. It wasn't meant for people who have 60 prior convictions to then be released again to continue committing offenses. So I will repeal C-5, the house arrest law, C-75, the bail law, and C-83, the prison reform law that allows Paul Bernardo out of maximum security into a medium penitentiary. And in so doing, I will bring home safe streets for our people once again. Thank you. Thank you.
The next question will go to Amy Times.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Thank you.
After a long time I've seen you. Just kind of brainstorm. So I hope I'll ask you a question. Point two major things I would like to mention. Number one, brought to me by here, conservative Hindus of not one person, some people. They said they are getting targeted by liberals and the person nation, maybe the person's name is that they are that under word we will use Khalistan. That conservative supporters,
Yes.
who we are they are saying that we are getting targeted at workplace.
Really?
Workplace.
By who?
The person that liberal and Khalistan. That's the word was used. I said I was astonished I said, how it can happen in Canada, that we can be targeted and leave Canada or leave work here. But the point makes sense here, when, our nation, the need, Department Fund, was Canadian citizen as well as US citizen as well. And he mentions very clearly, even in your parliament, in our parliament over there, that you Hindu, and such a, people, our nation, the name liberal and P. Chandra Iyer. And he has he said whatever he said. But such things people say and get away, and the masses feel the fear. A lot of people I know that they are planning, they are Canadian citizens, planning to go to leave Canada, go somewhere else, feeling in fear. Another important thing I want to, I want you to address is this, the justice system. I will say, use myself in that way. Example, my son's case was highlighted all over Canada. Justice delayed, justice denied. The justice system is so broken to the extent that there is no hope. My son's case was a mental health case. I feel that if being in media, knocking the door of justice system for 8 years or over period of time, and I'll just mention this particular thing to you on a record, where it was told that because of the COVID-19, criminal cases are so pending that the death in the hospital, such cases cannot go to trial. Simple as that. You're shut down, you go, take the compensation, do whatever you want to do. So, 2 points. What do you want to say?
First of all, targeting Hindus is totally unacceptable. The vandalization and the hate crimes that have gone after Hindus is absolutely unacceptable. And the Hindus have the right to worship, to raise their family.
can't seem to find a way to stay. They keep finding red tape.
Learn English or French. They're employed in a job that a Canadian
But do you think Grand people need another hospital? A lot of people are facing problems regarding the healthcare. So if you like people go to hospital and they have to wait long in emergency also. So what's your opinion on that?
I'm in favor of it. I hope that it happens. The federal government, under the previous conservatives, gave 6% increases to healthcare every year while we were able to balance the budget by cutting bureaucracy and waste, by growing the economy. We did grow, we did spend 6% more every year on healthcare. And then my common sense plan to make doctors and nurses available, as I said, is to bring in a new seal licensing standard that will allow our immigrant healthcare professionals to take a test, prove they're qualified, and quickly get to work. Because obviously Brampton needs a hospital.
Thank you. The next question is from New Pathways Ukrainian News.
Mr. Poilievre,
Yes, sir.
You've been traveling a lot this summer. What are your major takeaways from the meetings with people on the ground?
I would say that people are desperate for a change. They feel like they've lost control of their lives, that they feel hopeless about the future, about the prospect of their kids ever owning a home. So many are saying they want to leave. Yesterday, I met a flight attendant who grew up in Morocco. He came here to work and marry his wife, and he told her not long ago, if there's not a change in government in Canada, he's leaving. He can't stay here anymore. He told me he stayed in Dubai before he came to Canada. He rented an apartment. He said it was a palace in the sky overlooking the water, and it was cheaper than the crummy one-bedroom he has now in Canada. He said everywhere in the world, people are having an increasing standard of living, yet here in Canada, we're in sharp decline. And he's not staying here if I don't become Prime Minister. I hear that story again and again and again. People are looking for anywhere to go to get out of this hell that Trudeau and the NDP Liberals have created. But there is hope. There's hope that a better day is coming, that we're bringing home the country we know and love, that if we axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime, people will once again be able to afford good food and a decent home in a safe neighborhood in the country that we know and love. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question will come from Epoch Times Chinese.
So, given what the approach in the US equality has done, and it's a pretty easy example. So with the election we have earlier, you worry something similar would happen again, and if so, how are you doing the justice?
Yes, I do worry. I think that the communist government in Beijing has made it clear that they support Justin Trudeau. They want him to stay in power because he shares their ideology. He said he admires the basic Chinese communist dictatorship, and he has handed over our economic interests to Beijing. So I have no doubt that they will work to try and re-elect him, keep him in power. They will probably interfere online and in other ways. I think the only thing we can do is warn Canadians against this so that they can react when they see this interference. But we also need to shut down the Chinese-controlled police stations so that our people can feel safe in their own communities. They can go and vote without fear of reprisal from their government. And you know, it's interesting, if you look at the ridings where Beijing's interference happened, it wasn't that Beijing successfully convinced the Chinese population in Canada to vote Liberal. It was that there was a massive drop in voter turnout among Chinese Canadians because they were frightened that they would suffer reprisals. And the National Post put the data to show how much the voter turnout went down. And that hurt because, of course, the Chinese community in Canada has traditionally voted Conservative due to our shared values of faith, family, and freedom. And so by just keeping those voters away from the ballot box, Beijing was able to help Justin Trudeau win seats. And I have no doubt that he will try again to use the help of foreign governments to help to win a government. But we will stand up, we will expose it, and we will call it out as soon as it happens, everywhere and always. Thank you.
Thank you. We're just running a bit short on time, so we're going to try to get through the remainder of questions. If you can keep it.
I'm talking too long. That's the problem. You've all been great.
We'll go back to Red FM.
Red
FM.
FM. Yes. Hi.
Actually, from last couple of years, we have seen surge in hate crime in Canada.
Yes.
And sometimes the statements made by our politicians add fuel to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And you have recently, in some of your statements, called Mr. Jagmeet Singh, even nicknamed Mr. Sarab Singh.
Mm-hmm.
And Singh, majority of the Sikh males, 99% of the Sikh males carry the surname Sikh. Recently, Mr. Harjit Singh Sachin, he opposed your statement and called it a racist statement. What would you like to say?
Well, first of all, the minister is a liar. He's the one who has been caught lying about his military record, and he's lying again. The nickname was actually created by Sikhs who were criticizing Jagmeet Singh, and Jagmeet Singh has sold out Canadians. He said he would be a voice for workers, and then he signed on to keep Justin Trudeau in power in order to get his $2.2 million pension. So here we are, we have to wait for an election until next year, because that's when Jagmeet Singh gets his $2.2 million pension so that he can buy his fancy watches, cars, and Versace bags. That does make him a sellout. I'm a strong supporter of the Sikh community. My deputy leader is a Sikh. My finance critic is a Sikh. Those are the two most senior positions in the entire conservative shadow cabinet are Sikhs, and they have Singh in their names. And I love the Sikh community, and I'm going to keep reaching out in gurdwaras and across the country. I'm the only one championing the Sikh values of faith, family, and freedom. You know, under Trudeau and Singh, the Sikh community is not safe. They're being targeted. There's been assassinations, extortions, car thefts. Their children can't afford homes. I'm the only one fighting back. I'm the only one fighting for a direct flight to Amritsar. Maybe the minister should actually focus on fighting for Sikhs rather than fighting and making false allegations. Why didn't he get a direct flight to Amritsar? Trudeau signed on to an open skies agreement with Modi with no direct flight to Amritsar. Singapore, Malaysia, UK, UAE, Italy, Uzbekistan all have direct flights to Amritsar, and yet our Punjabi population, which is the biggest in the world outside of India, does not have a direct flight. So why is it that this is, I think the Liberals and the NDP, they really cared about Sikhs, they would actually focus on that rather than on protecting Jagmeet Singh from criticism, legitimate criticism for his appalling betrayal of Canadians that he was supposed to represent. Thank you.
Next question is for MC News.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we keep hearing from the news and the other outlets that the students and the mothers are used for multiple thefts and other sorts of crimes. And I do feel that one of the main reasons behind this is the quality of education offered by these colleges. Whoever is coming from international, whoever is joining these international colleges, they have no idea about the certificates being handed out to them. And these are just namesake, which doesn't offer them a befitting job for their education. So what are we going to do to change this system? And my question for the Honorable Pierre is that if we don't improve the quality of the manpower we have, how are we going to improve our entire infrastructure?
That's a very good question. So I regret that international students are being sold into human trafficking, forced into lives of crime because of the desperation that they find when they arrive in Canada. They have no homes. They're crammed 26 people into one basement apartment in Brampton. They have increasing unemployment, job lines. I don't know if you've seen some of these job fairs where there's 300-meter lineups for people for just one minimum wage job. And so out of desperation, they're ending up in crime. This never happened before the NDP Liberals. It is the result of the total chaos in our international student and temporary foreign worker programs, a chaos that I think is designed to profit large multinational corporations who exploit these workers from poor countries by undercutting Canadians' wages. I will end this chaos. We will bring back normal, absorbable numbers for international students, temporary foreign workers, and we will ensure that they are not exploited by immigration consultants, multinational corporations, or crime networks. As for the workforce, I think we need to put Red Seal material in our high schools. The Red Seal system is how we license the trades, the carpenters, electricians, etc. Schools are run provincially, but the Red Seal Council is federal. I intend to send a present to every high school principal. It's going to be a big box. He's going to get this box, he's going to open it up, and what is he going to find? A module for every licensed trade. This is how you can get your high school kids doing carpentry, mechanics, plumbing, pipe fitting, whatever trades you want to teach. Here's your module, and here's how you can get creditable hours towards their apprenticeship. so that they can get their license in those trades 2 years faster than they do right now by starting in high school. I want to use the Cadet Corps, for example. Let's expand the Cadet Corps because it is a free program that gives military discipline, but we can also incorporate the trades because in the military you need heavy duty mechanics, aviation mechanics, and other highly trained trade workers. So my goal is to put more and more of our resources into the trades. We need more boots, not more suits, if we're going to build the infrastructure and homes of the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is for Adler HD Canada.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for inviting us. And my first question is, since NDP is not supporting Liberal, do you think they will support your non-confidence motion, and how this will impact undecided voters and Canada political landscape?
Well, it's not clear what sellout Jagmeet Singh is actually planning to do. He said he's pulling out of the supply and confidence agreement, but he won't vote non-confidence. So that means he's still in the agreement. The only thing that has changed is he's put out a video. So, nobody can trust anything he says, but I'm going to put pressure on him and the Bloc to trigger a carbon tax election so that Canadians can vote for a common sense government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
South Asian Weekender.
Yeah, in fact, I think the last question means that probably most of the questions have been answered. So that was the question I was going to ask. I kept on thinking that my questions have been answered, what should I ask? So that was the question I was just thinking about, the no confidence motion.
Yes.
What is the status of the stand of you have?
So any day now, we'll get a schedule from the government on when I get to introduce a motion. And I can tell you that that motion will be a non-confidence motion. And it will be up to trigger a carbon tax election. And it will be up to the Bloc and NDP to decide whether they keep in power the most costly, corrupt, crime-ridden government in Canadian history. Whether they are going to continue driving up home and food costs, or whether they're going to vote for a carbon tax election, where Canadians can choose a common sense government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
Thank you. And we just have one more final question from Punjab TV.
Hi.
Hi there.
You have been saying that Liberal and NDP coalition is a very costly one. And talking about carbon tax elections, there's an urgent need for carbon tax elections. Just after this recent statement that came from your end, we saw Jagmeet Singh's move, which was not so expected. My question to you is, does that mean that Jagmeet Singh has bowed down to your wishes, to conservators' wishes, and he has started dancing to the tunes of the conservators?
We can only hope, because he's been working for Justin Trudeau. But in a sense, Trudeau's been working for Singh because they share the exact same radical ideology. They both support taxing food, punishing work, taking your money, doubling housing costs, unleashing crime and chaos in the community. He has voted dozens of times for Trudeau's carbon tax increases up to 61 cents a liter over the next 5 years. Trudeau and Singh, I think I should call him Jagmeet Trudeau. They're really one guy, the same guy. They agree on everything. I don't know what they disagree on. They both say they admire Fidel Castro. They both want the government to take over everybody's lives. That's, by the way, that's a quote. They both put out these flowing, gushing statements about how wonderful Fidel Castro is. I don't know what you've got to be smoking to say something like that. Crazy. So there's really only two parties running in the next election. On one side, there's the costly coalition of NDP Liberals who will tax your food, punish your work, take your money, double your housing costs, and unleash crime in your community. Or there's the common sense conservatives who will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody,
All
for
right.
attending.
Thank you.
Check it out.
All right.
Next event.
Excellent. Good to see you all. Many blessings. Thank you.